So if open, just finish eating them over the next 2 weeks, over the next 14 days. So if the packages are unopened, consider donating them to your local food bank, a shelter, your friends, or your relatives.
All right, so we do this on day one of the 14 days of going plant-based, right? All that.
Yeah, day one, just stop buying more animal products and do something with the stuff that you already have. Try not to be wasteful.
And we hear this a lot from people at our tent up there behind Denise asking us, what do we do? How do we do this? What's this process to go plant-based? So what do you do on day number 2 now?
Yeah, because people think it's extreme, but we think open heart surgery is extreme. This is far less extreme than getting surgery.
So day 2.
So make a short list of what you need when you're going food shopping. Veganize your favorite dishes by substituting dairy-free and plant-based alternatives, and I'll give you lots more examples in the next few slides. Focus on the produce aisle. Fruits and veggies can make an entire meal, so bring more of those into your day. And consider going to a local farmer's market and stock up weekly on things, because farmer's markets can often have food that's not just organic, but even better than organic. Because even when you're buying organic, you can have 2,000 chemicals.
Yeah, we're not getting into this in too much detail, but yeah, chemical-free is the best, and you can get that with your local farmers when you know them.
Yeah, and you can usually get great deals with your local farmer too, and it's fresher. So how do you veganize your recipes? Well, if you've got a recipe that calls for eggs, you can replace a large egg with a quarter cup of just egg. You can bake with it too. It works with your baked goods, and it makes great scrambled eggs too. Now, we're not saying this is health food, but if you're just starting out and you don't know what to do,
this is the beginning of the journey. This is your steps, your 14 steps, 14 days.
Yep. So, if your recipe calls for milk, replace cow's milk with the same quantity of your favorite plant milk from the store.
That's easy. Yeah.
Or you can make your own plant-based milk with a soya joy. With a soya joy and about 13 cents worth of soybeans, you can make your own quart of milk with no added sugar or oil or chemicals. Look at all that plant milk. It's located right next to the dairy milk for your convenience.
Yeah, the milk used to be an issue, but not anymore.
Look at that. There's soy, almond, oat. I've seen banana, all kinds. So if your recipe calls for butter, replace butter or margarine with the same quantity of your favorite plant-based butter from the store. But you can recognize it. It usually says vegan right on it, or it'll say dairy-free.
Also easy to find. You don't have to search for this.
Yeah, or you can even omit the butter from your recipe. We've done that before too, and usually it tastes the same. So how to replace a recipe ingredient for cheese. Just replace your dairy cheese with the same quantity of your favorite plant-based cheese from a store. Even Walmart has plant-based cheese now. Look at that. There's mozzarella and cheddar style. I could put that right on a pizza.
Yeah, so it's the Walmart house brand too, so you know it's not that expensive.
Yeah, so Follow Your Heart has been around for a long time. They have cheeses that are cut up that look like they will fit right on a slice of bread to make your favorite grilled cheese sandwich. Or you can even make your own type of cheese. Like our mac and cheese recipe that you can find on our website just uses soy milk and some nutritional yeast and some turmeric. Turmeric makes the cheese look really bright orange, just like dairy cheese. So don't think that you have to buy your own cheese. You can make it too. How to veganize a recipe that calls for mayo. Just replace your dairy mayo with the same quantity of your favorite plant-based mayo from the store. So that Veganase has been around for years from Follow Your Heart, and I know I've seen it in a lot of restaurants. So that's there, and Hellmann's just came out with vegan dressing and spread. So I was really happy to see that as well.
And some of these things are the most popular items in the store too. Just keep that in mind. Sometimes we've looked and they're just not there. The vegan plant-based versions are gone. The animal product versions are the only ones left.
Yeah, so I think these are selling well. That's why Hellmann's had to come up with this. They were probably losing a lot of their market share. So you can't make potato salad without this. And I don't think my BLT would taste the same without it either. Again, we're not saying this is health food, but if you really can't get
This is
by.
it. It's a step-by-step instructions to
Yeah.
go plant-based. Yeah.
If you can't go 2 weeks without mayo until you figure out what else you like, just substitute this. So sour cream from Kite Hill tastes just like real sour cream. You can make chip dip out of this or whatever your recipe is calling for. Philadelphia.
Oh, there it is. That's what we couldn't find the other day.
It was all sold out at the Publix that we were at recently, so I had to grab this image from the web. I haven't tried it yet. Mike won't let me because it's probably fattening and 50
well, you've
calories.
been plant-based for more than 14 days now, so.
Yeah, it's been 5 years for me, so I try to stick with whole foods, but this looks delicious. I've heard people say it tastes just like regular cream cheese.
Yeah, and the fact that it's sold out is agreeing with that too.
Yes, so yeah, your bagel will taste just the same with this. So how to veganize a recipe that calls for meat? Just replace it with the same quantity of your plant-based meat. Now, faux meats are probably my least favorite thing to substitute out. I would just substitute the meat with veggies. I wouldn't even go this route, but if you're going to a picnic or something, you're expected to bring the burgers, I would go ahead and sub it out for Impossible burgers. They are delicious. And Impossible has sausage now too. I've heard this tastes just like the real thing. And even jackfruit, you can make something that looks and tastes just like a pulled pork sandwich with barbecue sauce with this jackfruit that you can get prepackaged. Or once Mike and I tore apart our own jackfruit, it's huge.
We have to kind of hurry because we have 18 minutes to finish.
Okay, well, we only have 25 slides, so we'll get through.
This is just a long one. I guess this day 2, right? It was a long day.
Yeah.
In the transition.
Yeah, day 2 had a lot of substitutes, mostly around meat and dairy. So dining out, we just go on any digital map like Google Maps and type in vegan restaurant, and things will pop up on your map, even if they only have one vegan
I've been doing that
item.
for years. Yeah, and the most unique experiences we've ever had have resulted from that, I'd say.
Yeah, so even if they just have one vegan item on the menu, they might pop up in your search, and you can just go there. Or you can use the Happy Cow app. There's the logo. If you've seen restaurant windows with that purple cow on the window, that's what that's about. Happy Cow is only $1 for a lifetime subscription, and it works all over the world. We've gone to Paris and London, and we saw 50 restaurants located in a 50-mile radius from where we did our search. So another thing you can do is just, if you're at a smaller restaurant where you can talk to the chef, ask them to create something plant-based for you that's off the menu. And if they're not busy, they'll probably be thrilled because then they can put together their creative juices and come up with something off menu that's just for you.
Yeah, the mom and pop restaurants are the best for that.
Yes. Or you can ask your server to make your entree vegan by omitting the cheese, butter, or eggs or meat. Or you can ask to substitute the meat or cheese for extra sauce on your pizza. If they don't have vegan cheese at that pizza restaurant, you can ask them just to give you extra sauce. Or if you're subbing out like meat on your grilled chicken salad, just ask for extra veggies instead. Some people just ask for a discount because they're leaving out the chicken.
People have done that, and if you've done that, that's great. We have never done that, I don't think.
Yeah.
I'm just thankful that, well, I mean, let's put it this way. If they're going to make a animal product version of something fully plant-based, they're going to have to do some extra work, right? It's not like, just whatever. I mean, I guess occasionally if it is and it works for some people, we've just never done that.
Yeah, we went to Applebee's and ordered a chicken salad without the chicken, and it was just iceberg lettuce. It was disgusting. We paid full price for it. I should have asked for a price break.
Okay, in that situation, maybe, yeah.
Yeah. So dining at gatherings, I picked Thanksgiving as an example here. You can tell your host or hostess ahead of time that you have dietary restrictions, and hopefully they'll have some plant-based dishes there. Or you can offer to bring your own and share, even if you're not required to bring your own dish. And if it's Thanksgiving, offer to bring your own turkey alternative. Every one of these pictures up here is an alternative to poultry turkey. There are tons of them. So dining at gatherings, more family gatherings. This is like dining at gatherings part 2. when you bring a dish, don't even mention that it's plant-based. See if anyone notices. I brought this birthday cake to my mom's birthday, their 77th last summer, and we didn't even need to tell anyone this was vegan. There was no way you could tell.
No one cared. Yeah, yeah, there was no way you could tell. They all enjoyed it.
Yeah, but we had a restaurant event recently, a Plants to Table, and the dessert was vegan. It was a apple pie, custard pie, sour apple custard. And
sour apple, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, sour orange.
Sour orange. And it was better than the non-vegan version. So they're always going to serve this at this venue from now on, is the vegan version. So dining at weddings. Most RSVP cards now ask about dietary restrictions. So if there's a box there to check for vegetarian, just make sure you say vegan. And if the wedding is buffet style, like the one we went to recently, just ask the attendants there which items are vegan. We went to a wedding in Hawaii recently.
Yeah, and I had a plate of potatoes. I think. It was the roasted potatoes, I think. And that was the only thing, because all the other stuff had traces of dairy in it, even things that you wouldn't have thought. And I think people were looking at me and they applauded me or something. Like they could never do that or something. But I had like 3 plates of those potatoes, and you get some good roasted potatoes with the seasonings. That's a whole meal.
Yeah, they were good. I went back for seconds and they were all gone. So make sure you fill your plate up with the first round. So that's Mike and I at our wedding dinner. We were out on Sanibel Island and went to the Sanibel Sprout, and everything there is vegan, so we didn't have to worry. So make your own plans. So if you're dining with a non-vegan in the family and you have to prepare separate meals, you can minimize the cooking by sharing some of the same side dishes. Like salads go with everything, baked potatoes, even a side of spaghetti with marinara, soup. Many soups are already vegan, like split pea soup, potato, or veggie. So that's one less item that you'll have to cook separately for your non-vegan family member. So dining at work.
Day 6. Just check on time. We have like 13 minutes.
Okay. So the easiest thing to do is pack a lunch. If you work for a company that has plant-based options in the cafeteria already, you're lucky, so you won't have to ask them to make anything special for you.
Yeah, being in that office is challenging because you had some meetings. I saw them, and you told me what people were eating. Denise works remote right now, so she didn't have to be tempted by all that stuff either.
No, just recently there was a South Indian breakfast, and there was cake. And people leave all the time or have birthdays, and there's usually non-vegan cake there. I haven't been on the team long enough for everyone to hear my story, but I think eventually we're going to push them through a course like this, and maybe things will change at my office. But if the company is sponsoring a meal or cake for a birthday or a retirement party or a baby shower, you'll want to ask ahead for plant-based options for whoever's organizing the event. And your coworkers will offer you non-vegan food. They do at my lunch table all the time. They treat it just like elementary kids school kids do at lunch. They want to share each other's stuff so everybody gets a nice variety. I have to turn all that down.
Yeah, they want to be nice, but yeah.
Yeah, that's all I do is I say no thank you. So how to explain your diet to others. Here's a picture of me talking to Dr. Campbell. First of all, you want to wait for the right moment. I recommend setting an example. Set the good example. Don't go out and get in people's face and tell them that they're doing it all wrong and they should do like you do. You're not going to get good results that way. And if you're already eating lunch together and they're sitting there eating their chicken and burgers, and all of a sudden you say, I'm vegan because that stuff is horrible for you, that's not going to go over well either. So if you want people to know, talk to them privately at some event that's not a meal.
Yeah, you have to use some tact and some finesse with your conversations. But on the other hand, if someone repeatedly talks to you about their health problems and you see what they're eating, now that's an invitation to say something, I guess, right?
Yeah, I do open up then. If someone tells me that, they're pre-diabetic or they're hypertensive, that's a great time for me to say, I know this works. but use an iMessage. So, for example, I've read the China study and I saw the correlation between casein and cancer, or I feel bad hurting animals, or vegan diets tend to have far lower carbon, water, and ecological footprints than those of meat or fish eaters, and I feel bad hurting the planet. Those are all perfectly innocent answers. You're not telling them what they're doing wrong. You're using an iMessage.
Not iMessage like on your iPhone. That's what I thought when you said that.
iMessage starts with I. So, how to make plant-based food interesting. There's a couple of things.
This is day 8.
Yeah, on day 8. Use lots of color. Humans are genetically predisposed to finding a variety of color in their food. That indicates that we're getting a good variety of nutrients. Add spices instead of salt or oil, and explore different ethnic cuisines. So this on the lower right is some Ethiopian food that we had over the summer. That they tend to use different spices that you don't normally cook with, so it makes it interesting. And at the top is some Indian cuisine. I love all the spices that they use in Indian food. So, plant-based food for kids. Look at all these kids here. They're having a great time.
One of them looks familiar.
Again, use lots of color. They find that interesting. Most kids already love fruit, so there's a bowl of fruit here. And a lot of things are already vegan. You just got to turn the package around and check for milk or eggs. It's usually in bold print right below the ingredient list.
Yeah, and they put that because of allergies that people might have.
Yeah, you'll see milk or eggs definitely all the time. And a lot of waffle brands are already vegan. Eggo is not. I think they have eggs, but a lot of the store brand waffles are already vegan. So
that's called accidentally vegan, if you haven't heard that.
Yeah, and kids will love them even more if you put fruit on top. That's why they go for the cereals that have the pictures of fruit on the front of the box, because they think that's what they're going to get. Yeah, you got to remind them that it doesn't come with the fruit, but we can buy some separately and put it on your food.
Or just eat the fruit instead.
Yeah, or just have fruit. Yeah. I used to love putting olives on my fingers when I was a kid. You can make that fun. Olives are vegan. You can still make grilled cheese. Mike, you've got a pop-up bottle blocking.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let me fix that.
I'll let you get that out of the way. Up on the upper right is actually not a grilled cheese. That is a mac and cheese sandwich that we got from a restaurant up north. It might have been Boston. I don't know, but it was delicious. And no kid would turn that down. Dr. Prager's already has a lot of vegan food for kids. It's prepackaged. If you don't like to cook, you just microwave this stuff. And any pizza shop, if you just ask them if their crust is vegan, some of them already have Parmesan in them, but a lot of pizza shops already have dairy-free dough. You can...
A lot of that's accidentally vegan, a lot of it. Yeah.
Yeah. You can just ask them if they have non-dairy cheese. Some of them will let you bring your own package of cheese and they'll happily bake it for you. Yeah, bring your own cheese. You saw that package in the previous slide from Walmart. Or just ask them to omit the cheese and give you some extra sauce so that it's not dry, and do an all veggie pizza. Mike and I do that a lot.
Yes,
and
we do.
Birthday cakes can easily be made without the milk and eggs. You can make birthday cake with just a can of Sprite. So day 10, plant-based on vacation. Look at all these places we've been, and we didn't have any problems. We planned ahead. Plant-based cruises are already available. Many airlines already offer vegan meals, and you can use the dining out skills that you learned on day 3 while you're on vacation dining out. When we were in Hawaii, we went to a local restaurant and bought our usual pineapples. Who would have thought Hawaii had pineapples?
Yeah, they had some. I had an entire backpack full of super yellow pineapples. I know people were looking at me a little weird, but yeah, that's the place. That's the place for pineapples.
Yeah, they were sticking out of Mike's backpack as he left the store. It was hilarious. Then we borrowed a knife from the hotel restaurant. And we had to sign a waiver to use the knife, but we just carved up the pineapple. So, yeah, this is Ecuador in the middle on the right. We went to an intentional community on that vacation. So
that wasn't difficult at all. That was an all vegan community. It was no problem.
Yeah, we didn't have a choice there. Everything was vegan.
And everything was raw, actually, at the event we went to. So yeah, it was. So if you pick those types of vacations and they're out there, it's a newer thing, then it's a lot easier.
Yeah. So even at Oktoberfest, the pretzels were vegan. We made sure they didn't put butter on them. Paris and London, no problem. There were tons of vegan restaurants there. Chicago was a different story. Our deep dish had cheese on it that might not have been vegan, but we asked.
This was years ago too. It's probably better now.
Yeah.
Every year it gets easier and better.
Yeah, you can get Chicago deep dish at Geno's that definitely does have vegan cheese. So day 11, how to respond to the question, where do you get your protein? Well, all plants have protein. The real question is, where do you get your fiber?
Exactly.
That was some fruit that we got at the Amazon Fruit Festival, by the way. Looks delicious. Day 12, dealing with cravings and old habits. This will definitely come up. If you fall off the wagon, get back on. It only takes 30 days to build a new habit. And like Dr. Campbell mentioned, after about 30 days, your taste buds will change anyway. So you might not even crave that old food that you used to.
It's just getting through that transition time frame, right? And that's why this course that we have is going to have a lesson each day, kind of guide you through that. It's going to be based on the stuff that we're talking about now.
Right. So day 13, dealing with unsupportive people. Get some new friends. We met this couple here through one of our veg fests, and we go on cruises together now. And the wife here, she's actually just as strict as Mike is with her food.
Well, now, recently, only since less than a year ago. And with Brad is even less than that, if he's even sticking to it. But it doesn't matter. They're just people that, I mean, I think Clay, the fat vegan, PHAT vegan who's here earlier, he kind of mentioned it. Just keep hanging out with your friends or whatever. Anybody who's supportive. I mean, if you want to hang out with them because they're supportive, great. Keep hanging out with them. It doesn't matter if they're fully plant-based or vegan or not. Maybe eventually they will change or maybe they won't. But if they're very close-minded and, I don't know, just people who are not willing to consider anything and have a hard time, that's a different story.
Yes.
We're not talking about that.
Yes. So you can join a vegan group on Facebook. We have several of them. You can join a plant-based group on Meetup too if you just search for that topic, and you can have some potlucks together and make some new friends. Or you can move to a vegan intentional community.
That's very easy.
Yeah.
You will automatically transition within one day.
Yeah.
Not 14.
These communities are so far removed out in the Amazon rainforest that there's no McDonald's within 100 miles. So you're not going to have the same influences over you. And day 14, enjoying life. So by this time, you should have finished all the non-plant-based food in your house, and you should be feeling better if you're eating more whole plants and less fatty food. So, and also if you're eating low fat, you may experience weight loss. You'll have new energy that you're not going to have.
Yeah, you're going to see, no matter what, you're going to see, if you have not been fully plant-based, you're going to see some health benefits no matter what within 14 days.
Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, we're not saying exactly what or how much, but you will see something. You will notice the improvement.
Yeah, and if you're avoiding oil, you'll have less inflammation, and that will also make you feel better and lighter. So that's it. Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, that is it. That's our sneak preview of the course.